Good morning, good morning, good morning. Happy Monday. My name is Bonnie Sachs, and I am the award-winning author of the Health and Happiness Guide to the Universal Laws. This is my happy half hour, and I believe I have been doing this for over a year and a half. And so if you are just tuning in for the first time, there are a lot of videos that you can go and watch and catch up on. And it's really interesting to me because I think almost every Monday, probably starts Sunday night and goes into Monday, I'm like, am I done with this? Am I finished doing this? And I keep getting like, yo, yeah, you are. No, you're not. So I do love it once I get here, but I get a little worked up over that. What in the world am I going to talk about? Can I possibly think of anything new to have a conversation about? So I love that, the minute I turn on the video, it's like, ding, I'm on, and I get to start discovering what it is I'm going to be talking about. Even though I said we were going to be talking about our soul, I never really know if that's what it is. So good morning to all of you. Once again, I am still in the dark. Look, there it goes. Pops up. Ding, 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 ding. Good morning, Karen and Robin and Aaron and Jill. It's great to see you all here on a hot summer morning, and at least here in South Florida it is. But it is great to see you all. And this morning was kind of interesting for me. I went for my walk like I normally do in the morning, or almost always do in the morning. And I was getting a lot of different pieces of information talking about, my soul, your soul, how we communicate with our souls, things that we want to know about our souls. Good morning, Maggie. It's great to see you, and Jessica. And as I was sitting here in the last 10 minutes, I was just sitting and I was asking, like, okay, so what exactly are we going to be talking about? And I was seeing the reminders of what it was like when I first started doing this work. So I had a reminder earlier this morning about when I first started reading the Akashic Records. That's how I got started in doing all of this. And I first got started reading the Akashic Records, and I would follow what my teacher had taught, how to open the Akashic Records, and then I would sit and I would ask a question, and I would sit with a journal and a pen, and I would wait for the information to come in. And before very long, I was starting to write. And when I first started, I was just kind of writing the answer that I thought that I was getting the information on, right? Like, where am I supposed to be working next? And I would start writing what I thought was the answer. And then it would switch. And there was a very definitive switch in the way I was writing. It would go from kind of I'm doing this and I'm doing that to the tone switching to you, using the words you. You are going to, this is how it works. And so it was more like a third person piece. And so it was a very interesting practice because I was just like, okay, I'm tapping into some information. I'm getting some details. Good morning, Jill. It's great to see you again. And, how I started in the Akashic Records was a beginning practice. And now when I look at it like it was the way I was getting kind of training wheels. This is how you're talking to your soul. This is how you're starting to connect. I didn't call it that at the time. I just knew that I was getting some great insights and information. And even back then, we're talking about 4 years ago, even then I knew when I was listening to my information, when it was good information, it was very kind and thoughtful and generous. It was very positive. It was very upbeat. If I heard somebody saying something that was mean or nasty, I knew that that was not me getting my information. And at that time, I would have said that I was getting my information from my masters, teachers, and loved ones. And that is absolutely still the case. I just now know that my soul is in charge of that information. So I was seeing that this morning. That's how I started connecting with, like, getting more of this information and accessing more of this spiritual side of things, right? And then as I joined the mastery class, that I actually teach now, when I joined the mastery class in December of 2016, I started using different language. Like, I was like, oh, I have a soul. Oh, my soul is in charge. I didn't understand that. I didn't make that connection that my soul was in charge. And I can't say that I was even really believing that I was connecting with my soul, right? Even though several people around me were saying that, I didn't really believe it. Just being honest, right? I didn't really believe that it was my soul. It's like, okay, well, there's something there, and I know I have access to this information, but I'm not exactly sure what it is. So over the last 2.5 years, I have discovered that I've started playing with accessing my information more. And in the last, I would say probably in the last 6 months or so, it's really been, oh, that's my soul, that's my soul, that's my soul. But I wouldn't say that it happened anytime sooner than that. And that's the piece that I was being shown this morning, is to remind all of us, right? To remind myself that it's perfectly understandable if you are not connecting with your soul. If there are times that you're like, I don't know what the heck to do, and you're just like, I'm going to wing it. I'm going to just start moving forward and see what happens. Totally okay if you do that. Good morning, Millie, and good morning, Chelsea. It is great to see you all. We're talking about our souls and how we start communicating with our souls, how we know it's actually our soul, and how we can play with our souls to start getting more practice with this. Now, if you had told me 2.5 years ago that I would be doing a Facebook Live every week and talking about this kind of stuff, I would have said, uh-huh. Which is the exact same thing that my husband says to me on a regular basis. Uh-huh. Okay, if you say so. But it's a process that we go through, right? I started doing Facebook Lives because the person who was doing my social media said, you know, there's this really cool idea out there. And if you start talking to people, people will start listening. And at the time I checked in, right? I checked in and I was like, ah, crap, I think I'm supposed to be doing that. And so I started doing it. And I continue to do it because I keep checking in. Am I doing a Facebook Live? Oh, you most certainly are. Now, in the last 1.5 years that I have been doing these, if you go back, if you really want entertainment, go back and watch some of the first ones where I was a lot more unsure of the information. I had everything written out, and I did not trust that I could sit in front of an audience for 30 minutes and be able to carry on a conversation without the surety, is how I'm hearing it, the definitive that people were going to interact with me. What am I going to talk about? And for 30 minutes, can I actually, it's funny, I hear, can I actually have a diatribe? Can I actually go on and on and on for 30 minutes without anyone having interaction with me? Good morning, Eileen. It's great to see you. I certainly hope you're feeling infinitely better than you did last week. So for 1.5 years, I've been practicing this. Can I actually tune into what my information is, tune into the information that my soul is giving me, and trust that I can come up with the next statement, that I know what the next thing is? Can I trust that the next sentence is going to come in, or the next topic is going to come in, and I'm going to be able move to that, to flow to that without going, not all the time, right? I just want to let you know, not all the time. I don't always trust that. So one of the questions I had this morning is, what does your soul sound like? And I sort of commented about that earlier when I was learning to read the Akashic Records, that I just knew that if I wasn't hearing loving, kind, thoughtful words, that I wasn't tapping into who I really was. Now, when I talk about the soul, some people call it essence. Some people call it the higher self or the I am presence. There's a lot of names for the soul. I just like to keep it really simple and easy. So whenever I am listening to my soul, I know it's always going to be kind. It's always going to be thoughtful. Now, sometimes my soul plays practical jokes on me, which is always just in good fun. You know, when I ask the question, where is the shoulder pain coming from? And I hear it's from the knee, and it actually turns out to be the lower back. That's just kind of being in good fun. But they didn't start playing that game. My soul didn't start playing that game. My healing team didn't start playing that game until just a couple months ago. So for you, when you are chatting with your soul, trust it. Just keep trusting it. Okay, I'm getting the right information. All right, that has got to be it. It's in my knee, and I'm going to go ahead and work my knee. And then you can know that if it's not your knee, your soul is laughing his or her ass off and going and working where it's supposed to, going and working in the lower back or doing whatever it's supposed to. And it's all good. I'm sure my soul has had a ton of laughs for my benefit. It is absolutely okay. But if you are asking a question, remember I said when I started reading the Akashic Records, I used to ask questions and I journaled. And if journaling works for you, go for it. You ask a question, and if you start hearing anything that is mean, if you're talking about how I can lose weight, what am I supposed to be doing to lose weight? I was asking that question this morning. Am I supposed to join Weight Watchers? I have a bunch of friends who have joined Weight Watchers, and I just really want to get back into healthy eating. The answer that came in for me was nope. And it was just a no, and that was it. There was nothing more. But if you heard absolutely because you've put on so much weight and you're blowing up, or you start feeling yucky as you're having this conversation, know that that's not your soul. That's not how your soul behaves with you. Your soul is going to be generous and kind and give you the information that you need to move into the next step. There's also that piece where you might not get an answer, and that's okay, right? That's completely all right if you don't have that answer right away. That piece that says, oh, this is the answer. All right, now I can move on. Because sometimes our souls are busy, teaching us to be patient, waiting for the next piece of information to drop in, waiting for whatever needs to come along. Perhaps later today, I'm going to bump into somebody who has an amazing program that would be just perfect for me to do to lose weight. So I might not get the answer to that particular question. We have to trust that. Jill, you are totally awesome. Healings for everyone on body judgment, because there is a lot of that out there, right? I see that. I heard that. Is there not? A lot of body judgment. I was at Disney this weekend walking around downtown Disney, which is now called Disney Springs, and it was amazing how easy it was to just be like, oh my God, look at that, look at that, look at that, and make kind of judgments. And I was like, oh, ding, all of a sudden I saw that information come in. It's like, here's your eyes of love glasses, right? Put my love glasses on. And then it was like divinity informed, divinity informed, divinity informed, divinity informed everywhere. And then it was so much easier to give people healings. That's an example of listening to your soul. That first conversation that I was busy having, looking at all of the people that were there, hot and sweaty and dressed, dressed the way they're dressed because it is Disney, that was not my soul. That was my personality. That was my judgment. Those were my low frequencies. Those were my beings. But when suddenly it felt like glasses just kind of dropped down and it was like, oh, now I can see them as they really are. And when I can hold them in the space of being in love, then suddenly things started to change. And it's okay if it doesn't change for everybody, it changed for me. And that was an opportunity for me to listen to my soul. So it's a great analogy, a great opportunity to see when you are busy having conversations with yourself. For all of you who haven't gotten dressed yet, who are still running around in whatever you wear when you go to sleep, there is a moment for you to walk into your closet and ask your soul, what are we wearing today? I play that game almost every morning. I walk into my closet and I ask, what are we wearing today? And I make it a we because my soul and I are actually one. And it's like, well, okay, so what are we going to wear? And so it is an opportunity for me to listen. And I go down my clothes, right? And I'm like, okay, let's pick the pants. All right, we're wearing jeans. All right, I got that. Wearing jeans. What am I putting with that? And there are times that I am pulling several tops out and putting them on and going, nope, because there's this feeling of like, nope, that's not what you're looking for. And I take it off and I put it back. And, my husband, who thinks I'm just having one of those days where I just can't decide what I'm wearing, kind of like I was, 20 years ago. And I have to remind him, oh no, I'm having a conversation with my soul. We're practicing. What am I wearing today? And so, I put that particular top away and pull out another top and then, put that on. I'm like, is this it? Nope, that's not it either. Oh, well, maybe. And I have these conversations, right? For all of you who think I'm a little strange, that's okay. This is kind of the process of listening to your soul. How do you do this thing? It is sometimes I get it right, I get it wrong. I get it right, get it right, get it right. Whoop, got it wrong again. And that's okay. And I really have to have a sense of humor around it. I encourage you to bring your sense of humor to this game of what am I going to wear? Let my soul dress me. And it's always interesting how it shows up because there are times when I'm like, boom, got it right. This morning, I got it right. This is what you're wearing. Off you go. There are some times when I'm changing my clothes 3 times, changing the top, changing the pants, putting the first pair of pants on, putting the second. And I'm like, can I please get this right? I can play that game with shoes as well. But what I have discovered is that when I actually listen to my soul, I always get it right. When I get that, yep, that's it, and I move out the door, I have picked the right outfit. How many of you, I think we're all girls here today, David might be on, but how many of you, because it doesn't really matter, male or female, how many of you have put clothes on, and you walk out the door and you're wearing it for like 15 minutes and it's itchy or uncomfortable, or it's a top that's flying up all over the place or just annoys you all the time? Am I the only one? I don't have that issue when I listen to my soul, when I listen to what I'm supposed to be wearing. But there are those times I walk out of here and I'm wearing something that's kind of my personality. I'm going to wear this. I don't care. Or I'm not paying attention, right? And it's all perfect exactly as it is. It's not like I got it wrong. Oh my gosh, I need to go into fear. It's just a game that we're playing. So yesterday, I play this game all the time. I have all sorts of fun. And this is just more about you learning to listen to you, right? Oh, there's a little caveat. There's a little off to the side. For those of you who really want to know your name, who feel like you really want to know your soul name, that if you knew your soul name, everything would fall into place. Knowing your soul name does not make a difference to this process. Knowing your soul name does not matter whether you can check in with your information, whether you know what you're supposed to wear that particular day or how you're supposed to eat or to get answers. It is not a requirement. It's like a big sign for me that is showing up. Soul name not required. It does not matter whether you know your name. I have a friend who has been calling herself Petunia for a while. She does not have her soul name, and while it does absolutely, have some level of frustration, she is also good with knowing that it doesn't matter what she calls herself, that she is still there, that she can still listen. So that was like this little caveat. It's like, oh yeah, remind us that it doesn't matter what our soul names are. What matters is that we know we have a soul, that when we ask the question, we can get the answer. It doesn't matter whether we have that name or not. The process is still the same. So yesterday I was out of town for the weekend, and my husband and I walked into the Vera Bradley store, and I'm actually holding the luggage tag, and I have the hardest time remembering Vera Bradley. So I did grab the luggage tag, and it was another opportunity to play the game, right? Let's play the game. How do we use my soul for what the luggage tag is supposed to be? And there was probably, I don't know, 15 or 20 of these tags hanging up, and I was like, okay, so which one are we going to get? Now, my personality, first off, would have gone to, ooh, what's the cutest one? Which one am I supposed to have? And I was immediately drawn to the one that I actually was told to get. This is the one with the cute little flamingos. And I was like, that's just a personality thing, because I just thought the flamingos were cute. We live in South Florida. Why not put flamingos on? And then my husband started chatting. Well, maybe we should get this one, or maybe we should get that one, and I just was like, oh, wait, I can actually ask the question. What is it that I'm supposed to do? How am I supposed to choose? And it actually was a great healing for me, because I heard flamingos, and I was like, oh, that's not right. That's my personality. Shh, get out of there. Clear whatever that is getting in the way of me knowing that. And then it was like, flamingos. And it was another opportunity, which is another version of listening to ourselves, right? Another opportunity to go, all right, let me clear out whatever's in the way so that I can actually hear. And I'm like, is it the black flowers on the yellow background or the pink flowers on the black background? Which one am I supposed to go with? And again, I hear flamingos. And then I was like, maybe it's flamingos. As it turned out, I then said, is it the flamingos? Right? I actually asked, is it the flamingos? And the answer was yes, kind of like, we've been telling you flamingos for a while. So yes, sometimes we just have to trust the information that we're getting, right? Sometimes we just have to go, I got it right the first time. My personality and my soul actually matched up, and that's great too. It's not like, oh, it must be wrong if my personality said it was that and my soul is saying that. Not absolutely the case. So I love that you all are having this conversation about your soul and your soul name. And it absolutely is true, Eileen, that sometimes once you have your soul name, you start to think like, well, I can't possibly be that. Like, I'm not that, I'm this. So my soul is actually male. My soul name is Paul. And it has taken a really long time for me, the girl in the body, to understand that my soul is a male soul, and that's okay. It doesn't matter. that we are still the same being, right? But it can be really tough. And there's a ton of women that are in bodies in this lifetime that are actually male souls. I haven't actually counted them. I can't say that there are more male souls in female bodies than females in female bodies, but it's just that extra little bit of like when you think you have another name, that you're another, well, now who is that and how do we work with that? And I think it doesn't matter whether we know our names, and if we do know our names, we're still going through that same process. Are you kidding me? Really? Like, I'm a soul and I'm supposed to be following my soul and I'm supposed to be listening to what is going on next. For anyone who watches this video and goes, she is one weird chick. She actually asks her soul what she's supposed to wear in the morning. I can make it a whole lot more weird because I am in the practice now of asking my soul about almost everything. Open the refrigerator door. What are we having for breakfast? Look at my calendar for the day. What are we doing? Which of the things that are on my list that I think I'm doing, which of those things are we doing today and which of those things are we doing another day? The more I practice listening to my soul, the more I'm in alignment, the easier it is for me to manifest what is next. It is just a really beautiful opportunity to be like, what's next? What's next? What's next? And it can be weird, certainly. I came home from a walk one day and I said to my husband, okay, it's time to do the flooring upstairs. And he's like, what? I think I caught him completely off guard. Good morning, Amber, and good morning, Ashley. Yeah, because it was, 7 o'clock in the morning. So I came home and I've been up for an hour and walking and I was hearing, okay, it's time to do the flooring upstairs. We're going to do it this way. I was seeing all the different things, how it was going to happen, where we were going to go to get the tile and who was going to do it. I was just seeing all of the details of it. And it is a little weird. If somebody came up to you and said, oh, I know exactly what we're going to be doing, you might think it was a little odd unless you were used to hanging out with us. So it is a process of also training yourself, but training the people around you and getting used to that. Okay, what are we doing now? I said yesterday when I woke up, okay, we're going to be going to this outlet. And my husband was like, really? And I was like, yeah, we're going to this outlet. We're going to go to this store. And he goes, oh, I thought we were going to go to this store. We're going to get there, but we're doing this first. And it's a process of him going, okay, it doesn't matter. Or him making the decision that's like, no, I want to do this. And us having that conversation back and forth. But it's a process that we go through, right? Okay, this is what I heard. And then I check and I go, did I really hear that? Is that really what I'm supposed to do? Or am I supposed to do something else? And being okay with wherever it shows up, however it shows up. It's all perfect, exactly as it needs to be. Hey, Meg, it's great to see you. It is awesome to have all of you on here. And, this part about connecting with our soul just gives us more opportunity to be in alignment with what is next. Our souls always have the big picture, right? They have the really big picture. They know everything that we're getting done in this lifetime, the karma that we're clearing, the agreements that we're finishing up, all of the healing that we're doing. Our soul truly has the big picture. It's like they've seen the highlight reel. They know how the process is going. They know what the next step is. And the more we tune into what our soul is saying, the more we're in alignment, the closer we are to what we are here to do. And then things just keep falling into place. Oh, okay, I got that one. Oh, I know what's next. Oh, I understand where I'm supposed to be today, or I understand what I'm supposed to wear, or even the silliest things that I understand which luggage tag I'm supposed to get, because it's simply a process of practicing listening. So I certainly appreciate all of you being here listening to me today. You get to check off another Monday that I did it, and I absolutely love and adore each and every one of you that show up. And I hope you have an absolutely fabulous week and enjoy listening to your souls. Take care.